doing more of Power BI, and this ends our Power series, which we started like obviously the beginning of May. So this is the 8th week, which we went from different stages, and now we are here. And we just want to analyze everything that we'll be doing. So let me just give a recap of what it means. So we created a business, kind of like a Jumia sales business. And you use an app. We created an app. And that app was that anything you buy, anything device, anything that you bought, we're going to connect. So we bought, you buy maybe Microsoft laptop, you bought the prices. Then there are people who approve whatever you buy. Then they ship down to you. They do everything. Then we created some business processes with model-driven applications. All our data was stored in CDS. We call that the Common Data Service. Then we went and did some Power Automate to automate all our processes. Then everything was done. Then we needed Power BI to help us analyze the things that were sold. And from there, we want to understand what is the analysis, what can we bring out from this business that we've done. And that is the idea. So we started from Power Apps to Power Automate, from Power Automate now to Power BI. So that is a big picture. That's what we're doing. So today, last week we did some little touches about Power BI. Today we're going to continue and finish up everything that we need to know about the Power BI, what we use and we need to analyze. So let me share my report. My Power BI, so everybody can see where we stopped last week. Okay, so if you can see my screen, yeah, I hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we can, but what you're sharing is the team app. Okay, it's fine now.
Okay, cool. So what we did last week was to show, I wanted us to, Abigail gave us some ideas, gave us the idea into bringing in our data, creating relationship. This was the relationship we created. We needed to create some relationship. This was the relationship we created. So now the idea is that whatever you create here determines what will come out when you're doing your analysis. If you miss here, your analysis will not work. So we came here and we remember we did some. We needed to do some DAX measure. So what are DAX? DAX is what the full meaning is: data analysis expression. You are trying to express yourself. You're trying to just express yourself to understand. You're just trying to express yourself. And that is what we did. And we needed to do some expression. So you're trying to use it just like Excel, where you're doing equals to sum, and you're trying to add some cells together. But in Power BI, you don't add cells. You add tables and columns. Table or columns. That's what works in Power BI. Table or columns, and that is what we're trying to do. So we see your table, you see your column, and that is what it does. It doesn't see cells. It doesn't go cell. No. It does only tables and column. So we did sum. Remember we did sum, and let me click the function of sum. So we said sum is equals to so let me just change this sum name to, let me say, price. So it's going to be easier for us. Oh, the price name already in there. Choose a different name. Okay, let me just put it at revenue. So let me put revenue. So so you understand what revenue means. It means that all the old money that was brought in. So we just did sum equals to device order and price. So all the old money that was brought in, we just did a sum of it. It's not as if Power BI does not have its own sum. It has its own sum, but we needed our own because it gives us opportunity to express ourselves using DAX. And that's what we call the data analysis expression. We're expressing ourselves with DAX. So now when we want to now do some time intelligence analysis, which that is what I told you that we were going to focus on. So I'm just going to do some little DAX, and we build visualizations. And we're going to be just some visualization to understand what our market is like. What our market is like. So let's go on. So now, if I'm going to go to our mic, so I'm going to ask some of us. Oh, okay, Paul. Paul, guess you are raising up your hands. Okay.
Please. So sorry, I've been away for a while in this series. When you said that, okay. Please, what is it?
DAX. Is it DAX?
Yes. You say
okay.
We're going to do some DAX.
Okay, DAX. D-A-X. X.
Okay, X. DAX.
Yeah, okay. DAX. So DAX is data analysis expression. Okay. Data analysis expression. So, right? so DAX is like, yeah. So when people are saying, "Oh, I love Power BI," so Power BI has different levels. So the first level is actually cleaning your data with Power Query. The second level is building data models, which I showed you, where you're seeing some linking between tables. That is data model. They are creating relationship. The third level is DAX. So whereby you have to write functions, formulas, depending on what you're looking for, what analysis you're looking for. Then the last one is visualization. But people just see the visualization and they think, oh, simple. No. There's so many things. Can you do without DAX? Yes, you can, but you're still going to be limited. So one of the limitations, one of them is what we call the DAX now. So if you don't do DAX, you are limited because you're just going to be doing only the DAX, only the additions that will be given to you in your Power BI, which is this. You have anytime you see E, you know that is a submission sign already. So all those E, you remember our pivot table now in Excel. So you always have E in front of any submission that you want to do. But we doing DAX means that we want to do our own submission ourselves. We want to do our analysis ourselves. So there are quick ways to do it. There are actually hard ways to do it. So I'm going to do quick ways today. But before we do quick ways, I want to do just one or two analysis for time intelligence. So that I want to ask everybody a question. So you can just unmute your mic and talk. So the first question is this. When you want to analyze a report, in the report you do in the office, for some of us who work, what type of report when it comes to time intelligence? So what do I mean by time intelligence? I mean that report that has to do at a period of time. In the period of time, oh, I'm looking at, I don't want to say it. So in a period of time, what type of analysis do you do? Let me ask, so let's see if maybe some of us, we can catch up and get one of them. Okay, Paul, are you still raising up your hand? Are you raising up your hand?
Yes, I'm raising up my hand.
Okay, basically, so which one do you do?
Like in my office, we want to know per period how many sales, how many items have been sold, and what is the amount, what is the quantity left. Basically, these are the kind of things we do.
So when you say per period, what do you mean by per period?
For instance, we put a date range flexible. You want to check from January to June. You want to check from January 1 to January 31st, like this. This how.
So you're looking like a month-to-month analysis?
Yes, sir. Okay. On quantity out, quantity remaining, amount realized.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. Another person have another idea? Anybody, based on your reports that you do in the office? What is the time, let's say time, anything that has to do with time, what is your time analysis in your report? I want people to give idea. Apart from Paul. Okay, so let's go with Paul. So now when you have month, so now you know in when you say month to month, that is even variance, not even time intelligence. But I'm going to ask you, Mr. Paul. So Mr. Yes, Paul, sir. You know there's sometimes that you're doing a report and your boss is asking you that we are in February. I mean, no, okay, presently we are in June.
In June.
They're going to ask you, how much do we make last month?
Yes, when yes, such questions occur.
Yeah, so what is the revenue for last month? So, but I am in June, but my boss is asking me revenue for what?
Last month, May.
May, exactly, like last month, May. So that is just how it works. So I mean, February, my boss is asking me for last month, which is January. So how do we do that? So I want everybody to see my screen. Everybody can see my screen. So let me just take this in a place here. So let me just do some analysis. So I want to bring in a table. So just let me know if you can see my screen very well. So
yes,
I bring in.
See.
Okay, so I bring in month and I bring in year. So now if I bring in month and year, I'm going to bring in revenue, which is our revenue is talking about what we have been doing every month, what we have been bringing in every month. So let me make it big so that we can see the table very well. So come in, text grid. Okay, so can we see it very clearly now? The table that I just created.
Yes, we can see.
We can see.
Okay. Yeah. So, but what is the problem with this table? Can somebody guess?
It doesn't have a header.
It has a header. This month, this year, this revenue.
Okay, I can see. I can see.
And the first row does not have month and year.
It does not have month and year. One. Another problem. Everybody look at it very well.
Okay, another problem is 20.
I can hear you.
2017. We can see 2017 and 2018 all mixed up.
Thank you. Thank you. So, and normally the first one to come up is what?
I said there is 2017 and there is 2018 all mixed up.
Yeah, and I'm not asking you now that what should how should it be? How should it look like? You are correct.
Supposed to come up first.
Okay. Okay. So now how do we do that? So the reason is we just go to year. You go to year and click here. You just click here. There's going to reload back and you're going to see it perfectly. So now we assume now that this 15,000 is maybe a data error somewhere. But the major thing I want us to look at, the major thing I really want us to look at is the from September. It means that this data starts from September to September 2017 to September 2018. That is our data. Are we all here?
Yes, we're here.
Yeah, cool. So now it means that, but remember that last month that I and Mr. Come here, let me get your name, Mr. Paul. So I and Mr. Paul we're talking about. So it means that when my boss asks me that what is our sales for last month, I need to do a DAX measure that says that when I am in October should be giving me September score. But when I'm in November, I should be seeing what?
Yes, right.
I should be seeing October score.
October.
So I should be seeing it back. I should be seeing it back. That is what it means. Yes. So we have to write a DAX measure. So for writing this DAX measure, there's something we call that filters our data. That filters our data. So now we call it a filter contest. A filter contest means that it goes into a data and filter it around. It's a filter contest. So let me give you another idea, a plain English idea for filter contest. So we have you have. I can't hear you. Your network is bad. I can't really hear you. Okay. Somebody was trying to ask a question, but I can't hear. So, but let us continue. So Now we need a function that can help us, and that function, it helps us for filter context. Filter context means that I am going to an already sure data, already informed data, and I want to go and change another thing again. So we know that September 2017 is 89,749. But I want to go there and tell it you should do another thing again. That is a filter context. I want to filter it again. So that is the idea. And the function that helps us to do that is the calculate function. The calculate function. So let us create a DAX measure. Because of time, let me create a DAX measure. So if I create a DAX measure, so I want to create a DAX measure for last month. Remember our Oga at the top was asking I and Mr. Paul, what do we make? So imagine we don't have this revenue. How do we know what we make? So what I will do is this. I'm going to write calculate, and I'm going to click tab. Our main expression is what? Who can guess our main expression? Our expression means that what we really want to modify, which value we want to modify. What is the value do you think we want to modify?
Revenue.
Thank you, revenue. So I typed my revenue. So which is the calculation I first did last week. So now, which function will give me last month? So we have to go and look for a function that will give us last month, a DAX measure that will give us last month. So because of time, let me just tell you, it is called the previous month. So you can see previous day, you can see previous month, you can see previous quarter, you can see previous year. So we want to use the previous month, and we click tab. It asks us for date. We have date already, a date calendar, which is called the calendar date. I'll click it and I close my bracket. Close my bracket twice. Last month equals to calculate revenue, comma, previous month, calendar date. And I click enter for my function. So I will need to bring it in and be sure if it is correct. So when I bring it in, if it's not correct, that is why I know that I've entered into soup. So let me bring it in. So let's check. Is it correct? Let's check. Everybody, let's check.
It's correct.
Correct, Abby. So now we have been able to get previous months. So that is the same process you get your previous year and everything like that. But imagine your boss now asks you that, hey, eBay, do you remember that we're in June 2020 and sales is not even making sense? But wait, in our reports, in our data, what do we make in the same June 2019? What do you think is that business name that we call that? Who can guess? Who can guess? What do you think is the name that we call that word?
Normally, in normal convention, we say retrospect. I don't know if it comes.
Okay.
I don't know if it comes in here.
No problem. It's an idea. No problem. Who have another idea? It's a kind of a financial term.
Profits.
Okay, so now this is it. Let me say it again. We are in June 2020. I want to look back into June 2019. What do you think it should be? What is the word? Okay, let me give you guys the answer. The answer is same period last year. Same period last year. It means that where I am now, what is the same period last year value of the revenue? So it means that for September 2017 here, that means that in September 2018, when we write our DAX, it's supposed to be giving us this 89,000 in front here. That is the idea, for us to know that we are correct. Because the revenue of September 2017 is 89,000. It means that if I want to do the same period last year, in September 2018, it should be giving me September 2017 score. Have I lost anybody or everybody understands?
It's like a factor type.
Have I lost anybody or anybody understands?
Yes, you have lost me 30%.
Oh, okay, Paul. So the question is that. So the question is that if your boss asks you, "Oh, this is June 2020. I want to know what is the price or the value of all our profits as at June 2019. There's a business term there called same period last year.
Same period last year. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So now I want to write a DAX measure that will give us the same period last year. Those are only the two measures we want to write. Are you here?
Yes, I'm clear.
Okay, so now let's go and write a new measure. And remember, what is the function are we going to start with? Somebody give me the idea. Which function are we going to start with?
Doesn't like this, right?
Oh, the two is like
Please mute yourself, mute yourself, mute yourself. So which function do we start with whenever you want to go into any data and change it again to suit you? Who have the idea? What is the measure? So we call it the calculate. The calculate. And the same calculate, we want, which one is the expression? The expression is still revenue. And we have the same thing called the same period last year. Is a word on its own. It says that return a set of data in the current selection from the previous year. So that's what it does. And the same date, we have our date. And we close the brackets. And we click enter. So now let us bring it in and let's be sure if we get it. So everybody, let's check. So if I scroll, or let me just reduce this a little bit. So let's see it. Does it make sense?
Yes, we are seeing it.
So are we correct with our DAX measures? So that is the idea. So whenever you are in 2019, September 2019 should be giving me September 2018 score, which is 63,000, 63,000. That's why you know that you're right. That is the idea. So now the last measure I want to write before we build visualizations and understand our report itself, understand everything that we have been building since, is this. The last one is I want to ask a question. I want somebody to give me the business name or the financial terminology. We are in June. And we have been making sales since January. What is it called? And your boss is asking you, what is the sale have we made up to this point? What is the terminology called?
Year to date.
Thank you. Who says that? What is your name, please?
My name is Temitayo.
Oh, Temitayo. Nice. Thank you. Year to date. So now, year to date means that there are two ways to actually do year to date in Power BI. So is it that we are using the one that does not have calculate or the one that has calculate? So we are going to do two of it very, very fast. So let me do YTD1. So let me see, YTD1 equals to. Now, we want to do the one that we need to first put calculate. So we put calculate. Now our expression still remains our what? Revenue. Then I will put our comma. The next question is this. Which function gives us YTD? Does anybody knows the measure that gives us year to date? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so let me go. So we have date YTD. So you can see date between date in period, date month to date, date quarter to date, then date YTD. So we do date YTD. It asks us for date. We use our normal calendar date. Oh, sorry. Calendar date. Then now it asks us year-end date. What is year-end date? Let me explain year-end date. If your company in your office, the first time your company is doing, let's say the first time your company is start from April to March or January to December. If it's January to December, you don't need to fill up this your year-end date. But if it is, let's say, March to March, March to February, anything, you have to fill it up. I don't know, maybe anybody gets what I'm saying. So it depends on your financial year. So let us assume this business financial year is September to August. So what will I do here? I'm going to now put this. Let me type. Oh, my system is hanging. Wow. Sorry, my system is currently hanging. Okay. Oh, thank God. So I'm going to put September. So let's September. Yeah, then I close. So hopefully let's see if it works. But normally, if your company is January to December, you don't really need to put your year-end date. Your year-end date, okay, something occurred. Okay, I know that something is going to happen. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so now I want to bring in the data. I want to bring in to be sure of our year-end date. So I come here and bring it in. So normally it's supposed to give us year-end date, don't calculate it. So see it, September, it calculates it, gives us the 89, because that is the first month of the year for us in this business. But what will now happen is that when you go to the next one, it adds it together, it adds until it gets to August. Then it's going to now start again from the next month. And it moves up like that, moves up. And that is how you work. And that is how it works. So September, then moves. So now we can do another one, which is the second one I wanted to teach you, which is the recent one that was just added. It wasn't that it was just added though, but that is the new one. You know that sometimes in Excel, you have different functions that you can use for different things that you want to achieve. Same thing for DAX measure. So we can do that here also. So let me see with time. Then we build visualizations very, very fast. And calling the end. So let us do YTD2 equals to. Now this time, you don't need to calculate. Calculate is already embedded in this function already. We call it the total YTD. It has the total MTD, it has the total QTD, but it has the total YTD. And it still asks us for our expression. Our expression is always revenue. Then it asks us for our date. Our date is still the calendar date. Now it asks us for filter. We don't need filter. Then we ask for the year-end date. Remember our year-end date, September 2017. The close up bracket. Yes, and we bring it in. So normally if we bring it in, it wants to give us the same answer to the former one that we did. Okay, why is total YTD function is required? Third. So let us just give it a space. And so you have to, another thing is that sometimes they always ask you, you have to follow the rule, you have to do this. So sometimes you just have to look at it, look at the syntax, and from there, you should get it right. So Okay, it's just trying not to work. Okay, so it wants me to filter, and I don't want to filter. It wants me to filter, but I don't want to filter it. So that is the reason why it doesn't want it to work. So I'm coming. Let me just remove the September. Let me make it January. Because of time, I don't really want to spend much of time in DAX measures. So now it works perfectly because I want it to be in January. So without, maybe I'm doing it without, if it's January to December, it's just so easy. So it's going to change a little bit. So it started, okay, it still starts from September and it's still giving us everything. But normally, why it's starting from September is because there is no data before. So that is how it works. But notice something. Immediately it gets to January 2018, it starts all over again. Let me increase this so that you can see. See, January is 117. January is 117. Then you start adding it up to 95. It becomes 221. It adds up, and that is how it adds up. So I'm trying to give you, I think this is better. So I give you two different things for you to see when it is September to October when you specify and when you did not specify. So that is how you understand your DAX measures and you understand your time intelligence measure. What do you guys think before we go into visualization?
Deep.
Okay, so now let's assume we want to do visualization. So visualization is actually the most simplest aspect of Power BI. It's something that we can do very, very fast, and we go on to it. So let me just delete this table. So now I want to bring in visualization. I want to understand. So these are revenue. These are revenue, and this is our account. This is the orders that was created within that period of time. And we want to build any analysis. So you can build analysis. It depends on whatever you want to see. So let's assume that I want to use some AI visual so I can be very, very fast. So there's one AI visual that is called the key influencers visual. I know some of you might have seen and have used it before for those who use Power BI a lot. So I just want to use it fast. So we want to analyze. So let's say we want to analyze our revenue. And if we're analyzing our revenue, what do we want it to be explained by? So I want to explain it by different analysis. So let me say I want to explain it by the device that was being used. Let's say the device name. I want to explain it by, let's say, the price. So you have to explain it by different things actually, though. You have to explain by so many different things. So it can give you the analysis that you want. So see, it's already giving me analysis. I can add so many things to it. Count order. I can add the department. So I can add the year to date, anything that you want to add. So it just depends on your analysis. So I can add either the approval. Okay, you can't perform with approval. So anything that has to do with numbers, you can add it and it can work. So it's just like that. So I can see this is what influences revenue to increase. I can say what influences it to decrease. This is it. I can click it and I can understand it perfectly. It says that the department contribution goes down. So that what makes it the price goes down. So it's just easy for you to analyze and you can put it that way. I can click on one of them and on analyze it itself. So that is just how you work, and that is how you do it. So if you measure, if you click and you work towards this, you should be able to understand it. So let me just click another visualization very, very fast. Because of the time, I just want to be able to do stuff for everybody, and we can just. So this is another visualization. It's called the key influencers visual. It means that, the decomposition. I want to decompose. I want to be able to look beneath. I want to analyze so many things. So I want to still analyze. I want to analyze revenue. and I want to analyze revenue by the department. I want to analyze it by the device name. I want to analyze it by, let's say, the device name. I want to analyze it by month. I want to analyze it by month. I want to analyze it by year. I want to analyze so many things. So it depends on which one I want to use. I want to use to analyze. But see, I'm just trying to add everything together. Then I can now go to do my analysis. You see a plus sign here. When I click it, it asks me the highest value, the lowest value. It depends on which one I want. If I click high value, it's going to load and give me so many things. Like 2018 brought the highest sales. But if I click the highest, I say, okay, I want to see which device is bringing me the highest. It's going to come and tell me that, oh, okay, so see the device that is bringing the highest. Then it's going to tell me, oh, it depends on which one I want to look at. So I can still come back here and say, oh, this guy is not giving me what I want. Or maybe it's just not giving me what I want. I can cancel it and say, okay, fine. I don't need this guy here. I want to see so many other things. I want to see ASPA, or okay, I want to see which month do we make the highest sales. Then I click the month. I want to know which month we make the highest sales. So it's giving me everything, March, April. It's giving me, and I want to know the year. So these are analysis that you can do. You go in depth, and you're doing analysis. That is the idea. You can do so many analysis and you can build on it. So if I do something like this, I can just say, okay, fine, I want to bring in my last month. Remember, we did all those last month of a thing. So because of time, I'm just doing so many shortcuts so that we can just see how it works. So I'm just doing Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V, Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. That's what I'm just doing. I want to bring many numbers together so that we can see how all of them comes into play. So now I want to bring all the calculations that we've done. Remember all our calculations that we've done. So we did the same period last year. I'm going to put it here. Then I come here. I'm going to just put, let me say, 1 YTD. I'm just going to put 1 there. It's going to give us blank. Can somebody explain why it's giving us blank? Why all these guys are giving us blank? Can somebody explain? Who can give me an idea why they are giving us blank? Everybody. Who can give me idea why YTD is giving me blank? Last month is giving me blank, but same period last year is not giving me blank. We have 10 minutes more. Who can? I'm waiting. Business people, data analysts. So now why it's giving us blank is because it deals with time. So we've not analyzed it by time. So if I bring in my month, yeah, let me bring in my month. Let me just change some few things. I want to just change some few things so that we can now analyze this guy perfectly. So yeah. So now let's leave this blank. It just have to do with some Power Query of the thing. So let's leave the blank and let me check this guy. What is this guy giving me? Q&A. Okay. So now if I do something like, so I want to bring in another slicer that has to do with year. So we want to analyze by year, and we are bringing in a year analysis. And I want to do listing. So, sorry, I'm a little bit fast, so I just have to be very, very fast. So I bring it here, and I click here, and let's say I want to analyze 2018 because I think 2018 has the most filled year. So see, everything will begin to analyze by itself. So see 2018, everything is filled up in 2018. Now you can see how 2018 is being filled up. So this analysis now, we are not analyzing now. So I can just say, oh, okay, I want to view this report in another dimension. I want to view it in another good dimension. I want to see, okay, let me see if there's another way. Yeah, So I can just say, okay, so for January, what is our analysis in January? So everything analyzes and gives us analysis. Everything analyzes and gives us analysis. In March, we're analyzing. And so now this is where different questions comes in. And this is where we can do some analysis, some crazy analysis. So we can just be clicking on each one of them and we're analyzing our reports. You understand? Even our key influencers begin to be analyzing and everything begins to work. So this is how report is. This is how report is, and this is how you should work. Thank you. Any question? Any question?
Thank you for the session.
Yeah.
I want to ask, is there a way we will get this recording?
Yes, the recording will be done on YouTube. And we always put the recording on YouTube, so you see.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So any question? Any other question? Just ask me anything that has to do with Power BI.
Anything that has to do with Power BI, that was funny.
So at least if I know how to answer it, I should answer it. If I don't know how to answer it, I'll tell you where you get the answer from. Okay, so now you have been able to understand how we do this report. So most of the time at this point, it's so easy for you to analyze the report, and you can now say, okay, fine, I need to now beautify this report, because as it is now, this report is not just fine at all. So you just have to beautify it in a way that when people see the data, they can actually see it. And you know something, and is something like is that you can group it actually. You can group all these visualizations. It just depends. It's just the same way. See, I can group them and group. So if I group them at once, I can just drag all of them down. So simple like that, and I can drag this guy down. So this one becomes something that is big enough and everybody can see it. I can come in, put it here, and I can just insert something so that everybody can see. Can just insert. Let me see, power. Okay, pictures. Let me see something like A. I'm trying to bring out a logo, but it's not bringing out a logo. So I want to see, okay, so this is Power BI, and bring in a Power BI logo, just bring it in and we drag it. So now this is just a report. You want to submit a report and you're trying to bring it in. So submit that report. So this is your logo of your company, and you bring in your text box into it. You want to try to type something in your text box, and you say, report analysis for Jumia or for Juman sales. For Juman sales, you click and you change everything to, let's say, 18. Yeah, I think 18 is okay. So you bring it, take them, you can drag them up, and you drag. So I can change the color depending on what I want to use it to do. Change it to, depending on anything I want it to use it to do. Change it so it becomes, so this is our report. This is our logo, our report. So it just depends on anything. I can just click each one of them. Now there's something now in Power BI that is very new in Power BI that has to do with shadow. It's shadow. So I can bring them out, kind of shadow this way. So I can just bring all the old shadow out. I bring them out. Okay, so let me see if I can. Okay, so I have to click each one of them. Oh, sure. So just bring their shadow out. So now their shadow gives it a proper way which you do your reports. It just gives it aesthetics, kind of just beautify your reports in a little bit. So you just do that, and you enjoy your report. So yeah, shadow, and So I can just click the pen, click on the visualization and change my wallpaper to let me just say something like light yellow. Yeah. So depending on, I can change this color, it just depends. So just whatever works for you perfectly, whatever works for you perfectly, you change and you can increase and do your visualization. So this is just my report. Okay, 3 minutes to the end. Thank you very much. Who have a question? So back to you, moderator. Ibrahim, are you here?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Sorry. Okay, so
Yeah.
in the absence, since we have no one has any question, David, are we done for Power BI part of the Naija Power series? Are we done with it? Hello, David.
Sorry, I muted myself. Sorry, we are done. We are done.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, so thanks to everyone for joining this session. So we'll try as much as possible to have this uploaded to the YouTube page, and we'll also share the links. Meanwhile, for some of the materials that we have, we'll also as much as possible to share with us so that we can continue. So let us know the next Naija Power series that will be holding, and I mean the time and the aspects that we'll be looking at. So we thank you for joining this session. Please do have a great weekend, and let's try as much as possible to also get our hands dirty on this. Don't let us just listen to what the facilitator has said, but let us try as much as possible to also, do some of these things so it becomes part of us. And if you have any questions, clarifications, and the likes, I'm sure David is here to assist us. We can join the Kanzala group, and we can also, there's a Power Apps Naija Twitter handle that we can also send our questions and queries to. So thank you for joining. See you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Yeah, bye.
everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Rachel.
very
Thank you,
much.
Ibrahim. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.